My dear students of class 8A and 8B, welcome to my history and civics class. Today's lesson, Revolt of 1857. First point, treatment given to Nana Sahib and Rani Lakshmibai, oppression of the poor, corruption in the in administration, and divide and rule. And policy of divide and rule. Policy of divide and rule. The policy of divide and rule. The policy of divide and rule. The first point. What was the first point? My first point is treatment given to Nana Sahib and Rani Lakshmibai. Nana Sahib, my dear students, was the heir to the throne of Bajirao II, Peshwa Bajirao II. Nana Sahib was the adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao II. The British, refused to grant Nana Sahib the pension they were paying to Bajirao II. But Nana Sahib actually belonged to Pune. But he was forced to live at Kanpur. It resented in the Maratha region. Besides, Nana Sahib had inherited wealth from the former Peshwa Bajirao II and utilized it in sending messages to the people of India regarding the wrong policies of the British. Besides, Nana Sahib, traveled many places of India, especially two important places, Delhi and Lucknow, in order to bring support of the people of India for the movement he started against the British. Another one who was Rani Lakshmibai. Rani Lakshmibai became the victim of the British. And why? Because of the policy of doctrine of lapse. Her adopted son was not accepted as heir to the throne. That's why Rani Lakshmibai became a bitter enemy of the British. And she also fought against the British. Ultimately, the other rulers also were encouraged by the bravery, by seeing the bravery of Rani Lakshmibai. And some of the rulers who were not adversely affected, they remained silent, lest they might meet the same fate. So, next point, oppression of the poor. What was about the condition of the poor people of India? Oppression of the poor. The poor people of India, they suffered a lot. They were tortured because of the wrong policies of the British, framed in support of the rich people. Naturally, the poor people were suffered. The poor people had no right. The poor people had no right to lodge any complaint against any landlord, any zamindar, any moneylender. The amount of money they lent from the moneylenders, they could not get it back. And as a result of it, they almost all became landless peasants, landless farmers. And they became poorer. As a result of it, the poor people, a number of Indian cultivators, peasants and farmers, they lost their lands and they also lost their jobs. Thus, the growing poverty of our country, India, the growing poverty made the poor very much desperate, and hence they led them to join a general uprising. That uprising is known as the Revolt of 1857. Next point, corruption in administration. Corruption in the administration. The British, officials, the British, police, they all were corrupt. Naturally, zamindars, moneylenders, rich people, they own over them and utilize them against the poor people. As a result of it, the condition of the poor people was very miserable, was very deplorable. Neither they could lodge any complaint, nor they could open their mouth, and hence the police and other petty officials, they made huge money at the cost of local zamindars, at the cost of rich people, landlords, and so on. So these acts of resentment reached far and wide. The common people became very much dissatisfied because of their oppression, and due to this oppressive policy, the British had to face the revolt of 1857. And next point, divide and rule. The policy of divide and rule, my dear students, the policy of divide and rule, the British adopted the policy of divide and rule. Why? Because the British felt that the unity between the Hindus and Muslims helped the Indians to be united against the British, and the revolt of 1857 also was launched against the British. The Hindus and the Muslims both, they joined hands collectively against the British rule. Why? Because the British introduced Enfield rifle. In my previous class I discussed about it. What was Enfield rifle? What is Enfield rifle? And why did the British refuse to use the Enfield rifle? And since the British forced them to use the Enfield rifle, and since Indian sepoys, both the Hindus and Muslims, refused to use the cartridges of the Enfield rifle because the paper of the cartridges was made of, fats of cows and pigs, and there was a system before loading, the paper was to be bitten off with teeth. But since the paper was made of grease, the grease paper was made of fats of cows and pigs, the soldiers refused to utilize the newly introduced Enfield rifle, and not only that, it helped them to be united against the British oppression, British oppressive rule, and the revolt of 1857 started against the British oppression. So the British realized that the unity between the two communities might become a cause of the revolt of 1857. That's why they started weakening the unity between the two communities, the Hindus and Muslims, and adopted a policy of divide and rule. Divide and rule, and ultimately with the aim of weakening the community, the two communities of India, Hindus and Muslims, the British temporarily succeeded, but it resulted in a great discontentment among both the two communities of India, since the last Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar was humiliated at the hands of British, because both the two communities strongly supported the last Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar. Bahadur Shah Zafar, was the last Mughal emperor, a very respectable person, was living in his residence, Red Fort. Suddenly, Lord Dalhousie passed one circular that Bahadur Shah Zafar's successors would not be allowed to live in the residence of Red Fort, and they would have to leave a place near Qutub Minar, and they would have to leave the Red Fort, the resident of Bahadur Shah Zafar. And apart from this, another Governor General, he also circulated that. Who was he? He was Lord Canning. He circulated that after Bahadur Shah Zafar's emperor, after the death of Bahadur Shah Zafar II, his successors would not allow to use the imperial titles of the Mughals. That means emperor of the Mughal emperor, like that. They would be unable to use the royal titles of the Mughals after the death of Bahadur Shah Zafar II. So it resented. And when Bahadur Shah Zafar was alive, these two circulars were passed. Naturally, Bahadur Shah Zafar felt insulted. And whenever he was requested by the Indian Sipahis to accept the leadership of the Sipahis against the British and declared him as the king of the Hindustan, he felt proud, and ultimately he accepted the leadership of the Sipahis. Although Sipahi mutiny was suppressed by the British, yet the Hindus and Muslims became bitter enemies of the British. Although the British adopted the policy of divide and rule, yet the Hindus and Muslims became bitter enemies of the British. Why? Because of the humiliation of Bahadur Shah Zafar II, disrespect shown to Bahadur Shah Zafar II and his family members. And as a result of it, Bahadur Shah Zafar, not only Bahadur Shah Zafar, but also Bahadur Shah Zafar's wife, Zinat Mahal, started plotting against the British, and the British ultimately realized it during the time when the Sipahi mutiny of 1857 started, and they had to spend a lot of money in the process in suppressing the revolt of the Sipahis. Although the revolt could not achieve success, yet it left a good impression among the Indian people that Indians might protest against the British rule. The Indians might achieve success in the long run by making unity among themselves against the British wrong policy, the British unjust justice, the British unjust discrimination among the Indians. That's why the Indian people strongly protested against the British. Although during the Sipahi mutiny, Indian people had not become a part of that revolt or part of that movement, yet a message communicated to the Indian people that paved the way for a national movement against the British in the long run. And Indian nationalist leaders, they all got themselves prepared for starting agitation movement against the British rule, and ultimately the British British had to change their policy. The British had to change their policy towards Indian people, and the rule of Queen Victoria started, and Queen Victoria declared her proclamation. And as per the proclamation of Queen Victoria, it was decided that the British would adopt good policies for the Indian people and would spend a lot of money for the development, for the growth of education, health, sanitation, economic, political, social, and cultural spheres of life, so that the people must accept the British to be their ruler. Up to this, my dear students. Thank you.